Lisa,
Hi, Karen.
can you tell me about your angel?
My son is Michael, and he passed away December 2016. And it was just 4 years on Christmas Eve that I lost this beautiful, beautiful, vibrant 31-year-old. And he died of opioid addiction, heroin, fentanyl overdose in another state.
You know what? Tell me about Michael.
Michael, a life cut short. He's with me all the time. It took me a while to realize that he was the guiding light and force for me to find the beating hearts. He knew exactly where to send mommy, because not only did I need permission to grieve, but I needed to stand up and walk past the stigma of heroin and the overdose in Suffolk County, as well as Nassau. So I found a group on Long Island through a couple of moms that had lost their children. So that's how I found the Beating Hearts.
Can you tell me what the Beating Hearts means to you and how it's helping you in your healing?
It's called a bereavement group, the Beating Hearts, but look up for Adam. There's so many other figures, as you know, that we're involved with. So it's an organization that not only gives you a foundation of support, it's a private group of safety. It is only for parents that lost their child to a substance abuse overdose of any kind. And it gives us the permission to let down all of our shields and guards, walk into a warm home and a hot meal, and cry with every other mother that also gave their child over to the demon of addiction. So it's a permission to mourn your child in a very safe, comfortable setting, and most of all, to honor them, which is such a beautiful thing that we learn.
Who are you now that you've been on this journey for a while?
I'm not the same mommy that I was 4 years ago. We suffered with Michael for a couple of years prior to his death. So I am a more empathetic, compassionate believer. The death of my son, as everyone knows, if you can survive that day, we look at it that we could pretty much survive everything and even thrive in it. So the Beating Hearts has given me that opportunity to thrive in many ways. And that's all through volunteer and giving.
Where do you see yourself on your journey?
Where do I see myself?
On your journey.
Well, we're going to the beach as soon as we can get on a flight. My journey takes me in so many directions, but I'm writing a memoir, and that also honors my child and brings a lot of focus and awareness to the opioid epidemic on Long Island. But I see myself continuing to heal, to grow, and to take us to new levels to help other people also get this help that they so need. And we hope to reach all of them.
What does your committee mean to you?
Oh my gosh. I jumped 2 feet in. So I jumped into TLC by just texting or reaching out to a mom on a birthday or anniversary. The creation committee, one of the most moving things is making a set. Oh, by the way, we're all talking about beads like for the last half hour. So I just thought I would show you what a bead is that you hang over your rearview mirror. And each one has its own inspirational saying. The ones we make say, look up, and for the child that recently that parent lost, we send that child's name so that mom can hold them. We call them magic. And she can have, as I call it, a drop of hope that she too will survive the worst thing that could ever happen to a parent is to lose their child. So the beads mean a lot to me because in receiving them, that's how the card said, call this lady Linda. If you're interested, they have a meeting. You might need some support. And I jumped on that like, forget about it, like a tiger, because I knew that I needed a tribe. I knew that I needed a whole bunch of women and a few guys that are brave enough to show up with us to get me through.
Can you tell me about BOCES?
Oh, so yeah, so besides Creation Committee, making beads, we do sober homes, rehabs, as you know, jail. School really was the place that fell for me. I got just a little bit of a compassionate interest in children that were hungry and children that were coming from families of addiction, living in it, and some students themselves that were struggling with mental illness as well as addiction. So we just showed up as mommies and we started to bead with these children. And the stories and the hope that came out of those little classrooms before COVID um, was inspirational to all of us. And then they realized they loved making beads for us. So they would do a project, make some beads, and it just grew. So I'm just part of that school support and a lot food drives, anything that we can do for our community.
Thank you. And my final question for you is, when you look up, what do you want us to know?
I always think of Adam when someone says look up, because that's the first face I see. Um, but all I know is that I know for a fact when I look up that I am a survivor and that all of us here today sharing this story are warriors. And again, the reason and the hope is that we together can walk this journey of grief and also of joy and love. And there's so much part of the Beating Hearts that I'm so glad that we're doing this today and letting people know that all are welcome. Anybody that has suffered the death of a child due to this can reach out and become part of us.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you, Karen.